You came to Night City with a promise whispered in your ear. Become a legend or die trying. You ran the streets with a brother, dreaming of a throne in the afterlife. Then you held him as he died. Your first lesson in the city's cruel accounting. You chased eddies and rep, spilling blood in gutters and boardrooms. A frantic momentum fueled by the gnawing truth of hunger. You carried a ghost in your head, a terrorist, an icon. The haunting infection that taught you what you truly were. You mistook every outstretched hand for a lifeline, clinging to lovers and allies, mistaking connection for salvation. You stared down the monoliths of this city, the corporate emperors, the ghosts in the machine, and the walking invoice for the price of your own humanity, Adam Smasher. Through it all, the relic kept ticking. An unforgiving clock counting down to the end. Every choice, every illusion of control, dragging you here. After everything, it funnels into this. One moment. One final choice.
Commencing final analysis. 7 potential outcome protocols detected, each corresponding to a core subject ideology. Displaying protocols: hope, glory, order, cure, logic, defiance, purity.
You never chose how you would live. Night City decided that for you. But you can choose how you die. That choice is the only truth you will ever truly own. So let's strip away the illusions. Let's open each door and see what your Cyberpunk 2077 ending really says about you.
Ending Protocol 1, The Star. Trigger conditions. Subject V must complete the Alvicaldos questline ending in Queen of the Highway. During mission Nocturne Up 55N1, subject must choose to call Pan Am Palmer for assistance. Final parameter. In Mikoshi, V must choose to return to their own body.
Of the 7 belief systems Night City sells at the end of a life, we begin with the most seductive: hope. It is sold as a star, a pale pinprick of salvation in a black sky, an illusion of warmth from a light that is already dying. But hope is not a destination. It is the city's most insidious narcotic, a final, blissful escape from the truth. The transaction begins with a phone call.
Hey.
Pan Am, hey.
Do you know what time it is?
Cashing in the kindness of the Aldecaldos.
Come on, everybody's waiting at camp.
Look out for yourself, V.
You too, Misty. And thanks for everything.
They welcome you, offering the communal warmth you crave. We gotta live together, they say. But this is not a family adopting you. It is a dealer enabling you. The jacket is a borrowed skin. The whiskey, a sacrament of denial. You accept their faith because your hunger for this drug, for a reality other than your own, is more potent than any chem the streets can offer. You mainline their ideology. Their hymn, Forward to Death, becomes your own. You steer their warhorse, the basilisk, like a prayer, believing you can tunnel under fate itself. But the terminus of every addict's path is the same: the belly of the beast. Inside Mikoshi, the invoice for your addiction arrives as a shotgun blast. Saul, Teddy, Bobby, their futures are liquidated, converted into the currency required to fund your final, desperate high. Their deaths are the brutal arithmetic of your dependency. Even Johnny Silverhand, the ghost of consequence itself, becomes a price. His final sacrifice is the mercy that allows your delusion to continue. He pays the tab, absolving you of the choice so you can chase the horizon, staring at a star you believe you can touch, never admitting it is just a reflection in your own dying eye.
Goodbye, V. And never stop fighting.
So, what did you purchase? You purchased the continued administration of a narcotic called Hope.
Once we get to where we're going, we'll try all your contacts.
They've pulled some of our folks out of deep, deep cesspits. They'll help. You'll see.
The Aldecaldos are your hospice. The open road is your delusion. And the story of a cure is the lie you tell yourself before you sleep. Your receipt is long and warm with the blood of your enablers. And what does this say about your soul? It says you were so terrified of the void that you chose a beautiful, numbing fantasy over a harsh, lucid reality. Texter Deshawn once asked if you'd rather live a quiet life as a nobody or go out in a blaze of glory. This was your answer. You are the one who, when handed a final, quiet hour, would burn down your neighbor's house just for the warmth. In the final ledger, the star is the entry where you, fearing the withdrawal, traded everyone else's tomorrow for one last hit of a lie.
Well?
It's perfect. All great, Pan Am. We're going home.
Ending Protocol 2. The Sun. Trigger conditions. Subject V must complete Rogue Amendiera's questline, ending in Blistering Love. During Nocturne Up 55N1, subject must allow the engram Johnny Silverhand to take control and call Rogue. Final parameter. In Mikoshi, V must choose to return to their own body.
But what if the narcotic of hope is not enough? For the soul that craves not comfort, but fire, Night City offers a different belief system. A religion. Its gospel is glory, its church is the afterlife, and its one sacrament is the blaze. This is the sun. It is not a star you chase, but a god you become, even if the ascension burns you to cinders. This path begins by surrendering yourself to the faith's high priest, Johnny Silverhand.
Think you ought to go with Rogue. Two of you together got the best shot.
You absolutely sure? No going back on this, you know.
You're up, Johnny. I trust you. Take the wheel. Just, go easy on us, yeah?
Thanks, V. I'll get us through this. You'll see.
His crusade, for whom the bell tolls, is a final bloody sermon.
How'd you get that?
I'm the best fixer in town, idiot. Enough said. Now focus on the plan.
The descent, knocking on heaven's door, is a pilgrimage through the cathedral of Arasaka Tower. Then comes the ritual sacrifice, punctual as gravity.
Can't turn back time, Johnny. Ever. But you can always start over.
Rogue, the first martyr of this New Testament, is consumed, so that the high priest may complete the rite. This is the first doctrine of the religion of glory. For a new god to be anointed, a saint must be sacrificed. Johnny's vengeance is absolute, but the fire consumes its fuel, and the rage cools to ash. He anoints you as his successor.
So what do I do, Alt?
So
simply cross the bridge. You will become a part of me, as V's body and former life are restored.
The fuse is now lit for your own ascension. The path of glory is a process of purification. To become a myth, you must first shed your humanity.
Promise me one thing, asshole. You won't forget me.
The anchors to an earthly existence are the first to be cast off.
I will remember V. Always.
They are people of flesh, and you are becoming a creature of story. Love flinches from the divine heat. Glory demands it. Their absence is the second doctrine. A god burns alone. You take your throne at the afterlife, a king with a 6-month reign, before accepting your final mission, the Crystal Palace. This is not a job, it is your apotheosis, a suicidal prayer to cement your own myth. So, what does this choice say about you? It says your decision was defined first by refusal. You looked at Panam's offer of a quiet life and saw a beautiful fantasy, an escape you knew wasn't real for a creature of the city like you. It says you chose to place your faith not in a man, but in an ideal. You knew Johnny Silverhand's track record. He was a catastrophe who got himself killed, then got Rogue killed. But you didn't trust the man. You trusted the pure, uncompromising rebellion he represented. You chose to fight the right war, even if it was a losing one. Because you believe a beautiful, defiant death is more valuable than a compromised life. And most of all, it says you are an addict to the game. The final proof is taking that one more job.
Poetically speaking, flying towards the sun to burn up.
When you could have rested, you chose the fire. This reveals that your soul is fundamentally incompatible with peace. You are a terminal romantic and an ideological purist who would rather die as your true self, a merc on the edge, pushing into the void for one last score, than live a single day as something you are not. It's a choice of pure, beautiful, and catastrophic integrity.
See you around, Panam.
Until next time. Somewhere. Someday.
Remember, you still owe me that story about the guy from Caucas. One who rode in your trunk.
Oh, it's a great fucking story. But a long one. Many twists and turns.
I'll try to find the time.
Damn right you will.
Ending Protocol 3. The Devil. Trigger conditions. During Mission Nocturne Op 55N1. Subject must choose to trust Hanako Arasaka and ingest the provided Omega blockers.
After the romantic lies of family and fame, we turn to the colder bargains. On that same rooftop, where others see a launchpad for rebellion, you see only the precipice of a fall. And so you look not to the streets below, but to the corporate sky above. This is not the lie of hope or glory. It is the ideology of the void. The belief that the self is a failed project, and the only rational act left is to surrender. The call to Hanako Arasaka is not a bargain. It is a confession of terminal weakness.
At last.
Your offer, I accept.
You took your time.
You become a ghostwriter for tyranny. Your body, your skills, your will. They are no longer your own. They are instruments used to restore an empire, to place a dead emperor back on his throne. You are the weapon that secures the palace, the loyal hound that reinforces the master's walls. Your last act as a free person is to ensure that freedom is no longer possible.
Hanako.
兄さん。
待っていたぞ。世
れ去る時は必ずお前がそこにいる。
やめて。人の前よ。
I thank you, V. That will be all.
Not all. Not yet.
I will keep my end of our agreement. You will go with Hellman.
And you?
I must stay with my brother.
Wait, that's what you think? I betrayed you?
Worse. Lots. You betrayed yourself.
Your payment is a purgatory in orbit. This is not a recovery. It is a processing. The white rooms, the sterile tests, the endlessly repeating Rubik's Cube. These are the rituals of objectification. They are the systematic deconstruction of a human being into a set of predictable data points. You are a lab rat running on a wheel, staring through a glass wall at a world that can no longer hear you. The voices of your friends are transmissions from a dead star.
You're in trouble. Again. Alone. You could have asked for help.
Echoes of a life you willingly amputated.
Look, I need to talk to somebody. I'm sitting up in orbit and it sucks.
Hanako never answers. The devil does not need to speak to a tool they have already used.
Remains gripped by the revelation that Saburo Arasaka has returned from the dead in the body of his son, Yorinobu Arasaka.
So, what does this choice say about you? It says you are a soul that has already admitted defeat. This is the choice for the person who is so beaten down by the world that they mistake the end of struggle for peace. You have concluded that the game is rigged, and you seek not to win, but to be taken off the board. You fear chaos more than you fear tyranny. You believe that survival, even as a whisper in a server, is preferable to a defiant death. You did not sell your soul for a prize. You gave it away for the promise of a quiet room at the end of the universe.
The final choice they offer you, a signature on a contract or a flight back to a dying body, is a bureaucratic illusion. You ceased to be V the moment you made the call. In the final ledger, this is the ultimate cautionary tale. The shard named Odyssey found here serves only as a cruel monument to the epic journey V failed to complete. This is the tale of the legendary merc who knocked on the devil's door and begged to be let inside, only to discover there was no one home, and the door had locked behind them, leaving them alone in the cold.
Remember what Dex asked you? Quiet life or blaze of glory?
Sure, I remember.
Shame you chose wrong. Damn shame.
Ending Protocol 4. The tower requires Phantom Liberty expansion. Trigger conditions. The Phantom Liberty operation must result in the Netrunner Songbird being surrendered alive to Agent Solomon Reed and the NUSA. This is achievable by either siding with Reed during Firestarter and ensuring Songbird's survival, or by betraying Songbird at the conclusion of The Killing Moon. Subsequently, subject must accept Reed's offer for the cure.
If the deal with Arasaka is a surrender to the corporate devil you know, there is another, more modern bargain. A quieter promise, forged not in boardrooms but in the sterile labs of government. You stand on the rooftop, but this time you carry a third ghost with you.
Just don't make the call to Reed. We'll find another way.
Do what now?
Message. Didn't see it? They want to wipe me. Need me to explain the ins and outs?
A clinical promise from the shadows of Dogtown.
Figuring out something that might work versus a surgical procedure. Choice is clear, Johnny. Raise and Reed on the hollow.
Meeting point. You there?
Bet I am. Actually eager to be clinic bound.
AV's on his way. It won't be long now. Good luck, V.
Thanks, Reed. For everything.
So this is how it ends.
This is the lie of the cure. The belief that a soul can be suspectly excised to save the body. The name of this ending is the Tower, and it is a prophecy. It is the tarot card of cataclysmic, unavoidable destruction. Your life as a Night City legend, your identity as a chromed-out merc, that is the flawed tower you have built. This cure is not a rescue mission. It is the lightning strike that will bring it all crashing down. The final moments before the procedure are not a negotiation. They are a confession. Johnny Silverhand, the ghost of rebellion, finally finds peace. He faces his own deletion not with a curse, but with a quiet grace it took him half a century of undeath to find. He looks at you not with anger, but with the weary calm of a man who is finally done fighting. And in a moment of profound friendship, he calls this end a good day.
Good night, Vincent. Today was a good day.
He offers you his peace. And in the face of this grace, you choose terror. You choose the scalpel. You choose to murder the friend who is offering you a dignified end. Because you are too afraid to die.
Telling me I wiped Johnny. Sacrificed him for nothing.
Not for nothing. You're alive.
So, what does this choice say about you? It says you are a person who, when offered a spiritual truth, will always default to a material solution. You cannot comprehend the value of a good day that ends in death. You listened to a man who had conquered oblivion find peace in acceptance. And you still chose the anesthetic of a promised cure. You would rather survive the collapse of your own tower than be the person who once stood at its pinnacle.
You awaken 2 years later not to a new life, but to a series of quiet funerals for the world you once knew. Judy's love, once sworn to you, now belongs to a wife in Pittsburgh. Pan Am's fierce loyalty has curdled into a bitter, unreachable silence. Vic's clinic, once a sanctuary, is just another sterile Zetatech franchise. Every pillar of your former life has crumbled. The lightning strike was true.
The neurons can no longer handle most implants. Chrome. I'm sorry, V. But the life you used to know is gone.
The city itself delivers the final, humiliating eulogy. You were beaten down by a common thug in a back alley. A visceral proof that the legend is dead. Misty, your last link to that old world helps you up, only to say her own goodbye.
Oh, V, do you still have that pendant I gave you?
Huh. I must have misplaced it.
Don't go looking for it. Doesn't matter anymore.
You were left alone, an anonymous face fading into the crowd, the living embodiment of the truth that every connection you forged was severed not by malice, but by the simple, brutal physics of time. In the final ledger, this is the entry where you were offered a good day to die as a legend, and you chose instead a lifetime of empty tomorrows as a stranger.
Ending Protocol 5. Temperance. Trigger conditions. This outcome is reached by making the ultimate choice inside Mikoshi, regardless of whether V reached Arasaka Tower by asking for Pan Am's help, asking for Rogue's help, or by choosing to go with Johnny alone. Final divergence. The decision occurs within Mikoshi. Subject V must choose to surrender their body to the Johnny Silverhand engram, terminating their own consciousness.
After exhausting the promises of friends and systems, what remains? Only the self. We arrive now at the final internal choices, beginning with the quietest, coldest seduction. It does not promise a future or a legacy, but a clean, elegant solution. They call it Temperance, a virtue card pulled from the deck suggesting balance, restraint, and the triumph of reason. You stand at Alt's digital altar. The verdict is delivered with the sterile finality of a medical chart. Your body rejects you. It now belongs to the ghost in your head.
You shall live for about 6 months, perhaps somewhat more.
And for the first time, in the face of this impossible, emotional truth, you are offered a rational choice.
As I said, Johnny can retain the body, remain there, while you come with me.
You step back. Johnny crosses over. There is no gunfire, no blaze of glory. Only a quiet transaction in the heart of the machine. In that moment, reason is not wisdom. It is subtraction. It is the silent surrender of the only thing you ever truly owned. Yourself. The aftermath is a song called New Dawn Fades. Johnny wakes in a body that is not his, flexing fingers that answer to another's memory. He leaves trinkets on graves.
Oh, V. Don't know anyone else who'd have had the guts to make a call like that. Not a soul. Can't carry this around anymore, you know. Can't keep wallowing. Can't keep obsessing over what happened. Couldn't forget you anyway. I'm wearing your goddamn face. Thanks for... well, for everything.
Offers advice to a kid in a guitar shop. And finally boards a bus out of a city that has already forgotten V.
You forgot your guitar!
No, I didn't. Haven't forgotten a thing. Never will.
The product you purchased is continuity. The flesh persists, a vessel carrying an echo. The continuity is achieved, but the meaning has been erased. So, what does this purchase say of the soul who makes it? It says you trusted the equation more than you trusted your own existence. Faced with the messy, terrifying, and painful ordeal of a 6-month decay, you opted for a clean deletion. This is the choice of one who fears not death, but indignity. It can be framed as selfless, merciful, a final gift to a soul with more fire left. But it is also the ultimate act of cowardice, an abdication disguised as logic. You did not want to watch yourself die in the mirror, so you shattered the mirror. This is the wound of Temperance. It is the final, logical proof that you were no longer human enough to make an illogical choice. You solve the problem of V by erasing the variable. The dawn fades, the bus rolls on, and Night City does not care who wears the flesh. It only remembers the souls who refused to let go.
Ending Protocol 6. Don't fear the Reaper. Trigger conditions. Subject V must establish a high-affinity relationship with the engram during the oil field conversation in Quest Chippin' In. During Nocturne Op 55N1, Subject must wait approximately 5 minutes without making a choice. Then select the Solo Assault option.
But what if logic itself is a form of surrender? We return to the rooftop, to the moment of absolute truth. The world offers you its noise, the bargains of family, institutions, even reason. But you choose none of them. You choose the silence. And in that silence, you arrive at the most profound and terrifying lie of them all. Defiance.
If I gotta die, rather fall into my grave, gun in hand and on fire, and not drag anyone down with me.
Huh. You just discovered what it takes to become a legend. Grab your iron. Let's mobilize.
Welcome to Arasaka Tower.
Time to party
Weapons
like it's
and other hazardous
2023.
materials are not allowed on the premises.
This is the belief that you can firewall your own soul, that you can absorb the entire blast radius of your own death, leaving the world and those you love unblemished. It is the ultimate assertion of control, a final, desperate attempt to impose a moral order on the chaos of a dying body. The path to honor this belief is not a mission, it is an ordeal. You do not storm Arasaka Tower. You become a prayer screamed into a hurricane. With every step, you feel your own life becoming the currency, each second paid for with a drop of blood. The world itself trying to reject your impossible claim. There is no rehearsal for integrity. Every corner is a final exam, and failure is erasure. This is not a battle for glory or survival. It is a flagellant's march, an act of violent purification, where you scourge the world of its claim on you.
Good. If we're going out, it better be with fucking fireworks.
So, what does choosing this ordeal say about you? It says you are a purist, perhaps to the point of self-destruction. You believe that compromise is just a slower, more dignified term for selling out. Your integrity is a fortress, and you would rather die defending its walls alone than accept aid from an army that might tarnish its foundation. You possess a paradoxical soul, the arrogance of a god, to believe your will alone can defy the universe, and the heart of a saint, to willingly suffer that divinity's torment, just to shield others from the fallout. When the world deals you an unwinnable hand, you are the person who refuses to play, choosing instead to flip the table and declare a new game. And here is the ultimate truth, the source of the futility you feel. The house still wins. After your perfect, solitary war, you arrive at the same destination. The relic does not grant you more time for your valor. The city does not erect a monument to your clean conscience. Your impossible act of will changes everything about you, and nothing about the world. This is the final lesson. This path is not a transaction for a better outcome. It is a statement made in the face of a meaningless one. You did not buy a clean escape. You performed a perfect, beautiful, and utterly futile act of defiance, simply to prove that you could. In the end, you did not change your fate, but you owned it, sculpting a solitary death into a monument that no one but you would ever see.
Ending Protocol 7. Path of Least Resistance. Trigger conditions. During the initial dialogue on the rooftop in Mission Nocturne, Op 55N1, subject must select the option "Could also just put all this to bed," and confirm the decision to self-terminate.
And so, after every path has been considered, from the brightest hope to the most arrogant defiance, we return one last time to the rooftop. Not as a place of decision, but as a place of conclusion. After all the lies of continuation,
we arrive at the final, most corrosive lie of them all. Purity. It is the fantasy of a clean exit, an uncontaminated death. It does not promise a better future. It promises no future, and presents this absolute void as a mobile, merciful state. The transaction is defined by its stark, anti-cinematic nature. On the rooftop, the city is indifferent. Johnny, for once, is quiet. There is no firefight, no desperate charge. There is only the quiet clatter of pills hitting concrete and the ordinary weight of a pistol in your hand. This is not a sacrifice. It is an abdication. The currency you pay is not just your life, but your entire narrative. You are trading the whole messy, unresolved story for the purchase of a full stop. The ideology of this choice is despair masquerading as mercy. It is the belief that when all possible futures contain pain, the only moral choice is to select none of them. But this purity is a toxic illusion. This act does not erase pain. It merely transfers it in its most potent and unanswerable form to everyone who ever cared for you. Your clean exit leaves an uncleanable wound. The voicemails left by your friends are the proof. You do not spare them grief. You rob them of the right to process it.
And after everything I did for you, everything! And what's the first thing you go do, huh? Off yourself, that's what. If there is a hell, I hope you're in it. Rotting, burning, all of it. But
So, what does this final choice say about you? It says you are a soul broken by the weight of consequence. You are a person who mistakes self-erasure for altruism, who believes the most loving act is to become a ghost. This is the choice of the toxically hyper-responsible, the person so terrified of being a burden that they perform the ultimate act of control. A unilateral decision to vanish. You could not bear the chaos of trying, of failing, of being a messy human problem for others to solve. You chose the tidy, sealed-off logic of a closed door. This is the only transaction in Night City where the cost is absolute and the purchase is nothing. You lose everything: the chance for a cure, however slim, the potential for reconciliation, the dignity of a final human goodbye.
We'll never fade away.
You steal the agency of your friends to fight for you, to forgive you, to simply be with you at the end. And do not confuse this quiet abdication with the defiant purity of the Reaper. That path is the purity of action, the zealots' scream of "I alone will pay the price" as they march into the fire. This, the path of least resistance, is the purity of absence. It is the exhausted whisper of "I cannot bear any price," followed by a quiet step back from the flame. One is the ultimate engagement with the story's moral conflict. The other is the ultimate rejection of it. Night City never needed another ghost. It needed a stubborn, catastrophic, and beautifully imperfect human who, whether in victory or defeat, chose to face the fire.